Hi my gems, Gina here. So I'm actually on my lunch break and I figured what better time in this time that I do have free from work now that I've already eaten to go ahead and make another video for you guys. So I'm actually like in some neighborhood. I don't know any of these people, so if you see me looking around, that's just because I'm trying to be aware of my surroundings. Okay, so I actually have a story to tell you guys. Just about, I feel like I always put myself in these situations to where in order to grow, I make myself really uncomfortable. And I do that so that I can get used to that feeling of discomfort in order to grow. So an example would be, well, I'm Latina and I'm bilingual-ish, okay? Because I learned Spanish through watching telenovelas at my grandmother's. So that's just something that I picked up on my own. I was really young, and then it did help that my grandmother only spoke Spanish. So in order for me to communicate with my grandmother, I had to kind of learn, you know? So that's that. But as far as like progressing and being extremely fluent and knowing just vocabulary that you should know in the office, I had no idea. I knew how to ask for food, drink, say I love you, those kind of things, right? So I always play it up on my resume. I always say that I'm bilingual, that I can speak Spanish, which is not a lie. I can speak Spanish, but to what extent? I always leave that unknown on my resume. But I can communicate, people understand me, so that's that. Okay, so I took a gig where I was working for this high-end golf course. Okay, and so they had people with like money, people with money. Okay, would come and play at this golf course, but I was more behind the scenes. I was there to be an HR/payroll person, assistant, so to speak. So I didn't really see any of the golfers, but on this particular day, there was a meeting, a meeting that we had to translate, and let's just say for one, I don't really know much about golf to begin with in English, but let alone Spanish, you know, and they wanted me to translate it, you know. So the person who owns this golf course, who's like a big deal, you know, wanted me to do this. And of course, I've never been the type to turn down a challenge, even if I knew that there was a chance that I would underperform. I just kind of do it and hope for the best, you know. That's just kind of the method I've used to grow this far. Which I don't want to say that I'm a big shot, you know, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's just always good to push yourself to grow. So that's what I did. So the day came to where I had to translate the quarterly meeting, and I was so nervous. I contemplated whether or not I should call in, you know, but I was like, no, I don't want to let my manager down, my boss, the person I answer to, down, who then is going to have to let down the big, you know, the boss down. And so I said, no, I'm not going to do that. That is not, absolutely not an option. Jen, you had to get over this. So, you know, I was blowing up the CBD pins, you know, because I use CBD to calm my nerves sometimes, you know, because I do get a little anxious. So I was like eating the CBD honey. I was doing everything I could to possibly calm down before this meeting, and I just could not do it. I could not do it. I was so nervous. The day of, I remember just shaking, like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be in front of all of these people. I'm going to have to translate in Spanish golf terminology. I was freaking out. But I said, I'm going to do it, Jen. How are you ever going to grow if this is why they hired you. They hired you because you sold the hell out of your Spanish, and now you have to perform. That's just what it is. You have to do it. You have to do it. There's no way around it. So I said, okay, I mentally prepared myself to do this. And then the speech began. So, you know, this big shot guy had to give this speech, just certain things. And at this point, I was so nervous I could not even concentrate on what he was saying. So he would stop talking, and then he would look at me, and I'm like, what? Oh, okay. So then I would just start blurting out things. The first minute was like terrible. Okay, then afterwards it was like, okay, maybe I got it. Okay, minus the golf terminology. But then this thing happened. I did it with a smile on my face. And I guess because I did it with a smile on my face, it wasn't taken as, like, when someone's messing up and you see them messing up and they can laugh at themselves during it and make it a fun experience, then it's really not as much of a big deal as if you just, your face is turning red and you're stumbling on your words and all that stuff, and it's just not good. It's just not good. But I did it with a smile on my face. I I did stutter a little bit. I remember at one point I choked on my spit. Yes, I choked on my freaking spit. But I made it such a good time and I had fun with it. So I was choking up, but at the same time I was able to laugh at myself. I remember it was around Thanksgiving time. Not this was, a couple of years back. So it was around Thanksgiving time and he was talking to us about some changes that were going to happen around this time, and then Thanksgiving Day. And you know what? Because I was so freaking nervous, I could not remember how to say Thanksgiving in Spanish. You want to know what I said? El día de el pavo, turkey day, el día de turkey. Okay, but I remember everyone busted out laughing and they were just having a good time with it, so it was like almost entertaining for them to watch. Needless to say, I was a very memorable character, but from that point on, I never translated anything else because I told my boss, I said, don't make me do it again. Like, I know you guys had fun laughing at me. I had fun laughing at me, but let's not, okay? I can translate smaller terms. I can talk one-on-one, but I've never, I have to get up in front of all these people that have this, money, okay? And it was a little excruciating. Like, it was scary for me. It was scary, but I remember after I got through it, I was like, oh, that's good, Jen. You did it. You did that, okay? You did that. And let me tell you something. As horrible as my performance was, it was memorable. People loved, talking to me about it, and just having fun, so I still in communication with these former employers, so I'm able to use them as recommendations. They, tell me all the time, you were great, and just the fact that you did it, you didn't stand down, and you just push yourself to do it and have fun with it. That was awesome. That was the best entertainment for us, and it made you more likable. So that was just something that I put myself through, but it worked out because I remember after that gig, because it was a part-time gig, and it was just kind of one of those things that I did that I had to do, so after college, when you graduate, it's kind of hard sometimes to find a job straight out of college, and so I did a bunch of part-time gigs, I did temporary assignments, stuff like that. But this in particular boss said that I was great, I was great, and I can always use him as a recommendation. He always says, nice things about me, and I appreciate that because let's be real, made it set of myself, like I really did, but I had fun, and I was uncomfortable. I was heck of a but let me tell you something, after living through that experience and building those bonds, okay, I've been able to communicate with a lot of people from that little situation and just keep in touch, make great connections, awesome recommendations. It's always good to meet people and have connections like those, okay? But I wouldn't have got my second real gig if it wasn't for me, I guess, putting on such a good impression and working really hard with my previous employer. So I'm really thankful for that experience, even though I'm mortified even thinking about what I did to myself. Something good came out of it. And if I would have played it safe and I wouldn't have took the job because, well, oh my goodness, they said I'm gonna have to translate meetings and I can't really speak Spanish. If I would have just turned down the offer then, maybe I wouldn't have got that second gig, in a corporate office. So those are just things to think about. Never downplay yourself. Be an overachiever to yourself, because if you don't believe it, how are you gonna make someone else believe it? So that was just something that that was that played a big role for my next gig, and I could say that I was super embarrassed, but I don't regret it. I think that was the best decision that I could have made, was taking on that job, taking on those challenges of having to speak my Spanglish, okay, and overexceeding, because not only did I grow and meet new connections, I was able to lengthen my resume, and build my skills for the next thing to come. So never doubt yourself. Always push to do better, even if you feel like you're gonna fail, or maybe it's not gonna be perfect. Just because something doesn't turn out perfect, or you're afraid it's not gonna turn out perfect, doesn't mean that you shouldn't at least go for it. You should try it. Take risk. Anyone who's successful has taken a risk. They've all taken risks. So why wait? Why can't you do it? So that's just my little story for today. I'm probably about to head back to my... Until next time, my little gems, I enjoy talking with you. Bye, my gems.